If you're a manager of several people, you may have in the past used a tool to kind of grade and understand the performance and the potential of your employees. A very commonly used tool is called a 9-box grid. And I'm going to talk you through how a 9-box grid works, why it's valuable, how you can use it, and kind of show you a template that you can use for yourself in order to grade the talent on your team. This is important for executives because as you grow in the organization, you're constantly scanning the horizon for stars and potential or high potential employees that can grow into higher level roles. And as a manager, you're just making sure that your team is performing well. As an executive, you're looking for people to pull up into management and other executive level roles. So this 9-box tool is something that's very valuable to executives, more so than even managers. And that's why we're going to talk about it today. So what is a 9-box grid? Well, very simply, it's a matrix. It's like a tic-tac-toe. It's a 9-box grid, and I'll show you exactly what one looks like. So this is a 9-box grid right here. So what exactly is a 9-box? Well, quite simply, it is a 9-box grid. It is a tic-tac-toe or a shape like this, what you see on the screen here, where there are 9 categories, and it's a 3x3 matrix. That means that on one axis, you have potential, your employees' potential to grow. And on the second axis, you have performance. And this is how well they perform in their current role. So potential and performance are the 2 axes. And what we do is we basically grade each employee on these 2 measures, performance, potential, and it's either limited, moderate, or excellent potential, or below, meets, or exceeds expectations for performance. So we grade employees on those 2 axes and then graph them in this. And then where they show up on this gives us an indication of how to treat them. So let's go over to the evaluations tab. And what you would do here is list out the names of all of the people who work on your team. And then on them, put their description and department. Once you have that, then you want to choose what their performance has been for the past year and what you think their potential is going forward in the company. So performance can be below meets or exceeds expectations, and potential can be below meets or exceeds, right? Let's start with just performance, okay? And here's the thing, below meets and exceeds. Most people will meet expectations in their performance. It's not like you don't want to use this as a way to pump up your employee. Like your employee should not see this 9-box. You don't want them to know that they are not in the star category. So make sure that, like this is something that's usually managed by HR and you're going to get this tool. But if you don't have this, this is a way you can kind of understand who's on your team and what value they have. But rate their performance very objectively, critically on, are they doing what you want them to do in their job? Are they excelling in their work? Are they not quite there? Even if they're a little bit below what you would expect from them, you need to record them as below expectations. And then when it comes to their potential, well, this is where it's more of a gut call on like, do you think this person has a lot of growth in their career, or are they just really happy with what they're doing? So someone with low potential but high performance, that's actually a really good employee. So it's not that you need to have someone with high performance and high potential. High performance and low potential means that you've got someone who's exactly where they belong in the org chart. This is very common with employees that just lock into a role and do it for 10 years because they love the work, they're good at the work, the company loves them. And so you want to reward those employees. We'll talk about that in a minute, what to do with them. But choose their performance and then choose their potential, what potential you think they have, right? And then you want to do this for all of your employees. And then if you come over here, what you'll do is you'll put those names into these boxes based on what they showed up as over there. And I think there's an automation in Excel to do this, but I've broken it and I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to put names in here and talk about what these 9 boxes mean. So generally speaking, if you have someone that is 1A, this is down here in the risk. So they have below expectations in performance and limited potential, right? So that person, poor performance and limited potential, they're likely to be a candidate to be reassigned to a different role, or they might need to be exited from the company. So they're performing poorly and they don't seem to have a lot of potential. These are not people that you want in the role that they're in right now because they're not going to go through it and they're not even going to be able to do it. So they're in a bad role, they're in a bad organization, they're in a bad situation, and you want to help them find the right place for them, which may be outside of the organization. All right, so one box over, if you look at someone that has poor performance but moderate potential, well, that person is someone that could progress with focus on their role. So focus on stretch goals for this employee and try to help this employee see how they can get better, and so that they can move their poor performance up to at least moderate performance. So poor performance and moderate potential, this is an inconsistent player. One more over, where you have poor performance and high potential, this is a diamond in the rough, right? So this kind of person is possibly a star, but they may not be in the right role. And one of the things that I've seen happen a lot is someone who's very strategically minded in a role that is very tactically focused. So they have to be very specific and exact. They can't flex their strategic skills, but you can see they have a strategic mindset and they're frustrated by the work that they're doing. So they may not make the best engineer, but they may make a great director of engineering. And that's what you're looking for with these potential gems. So you need to figure out how to make them successful in their role so that they can grow to the higher level roles and have the success that they'll have as a strategically minded person. If you go to the next row, where you have someone that meets their expectations of performance regularly and then are either limited, moderate, or excellent potential, starting with limited potential and meets expectations, well, that person is an average performer. So they have good performance, limited potential. So they're an effective performer, but they kind of reached, like, they've capped out in their career. Like they probably don't have much lit above them, right? You want to coach this employee to see if you can get them to have more potential. And in the areas that I find most people need to work on is being more innovative in their approach and determine if they have potential in this role or maybe in a different pursuit. So maybe they're really great for finance, but they're stuck in the engineering department or something like that. Your good performance and moderate potential, this is your B team. This is your solid 80% of the team should be right around here in the middle of the chart. You want them to be right here. You want a lot of people here because this is your core team. This means when you have employees that have moderate performance, moderate potential, it means that you have people that are in the right roles, doing the jobs that are stretching them, but they have room to grow. They're doing the work, they're engaged, they enjoy the work, they're performing as exactly how you expected the system to work. You can't have all A players in an organization. They'll eat each other alive. So instead, you want to have a lot of these B players, this core team, right? And so you should hopefully have a lot of people in this box. And then one box over, someone that's a moderate or they meet performance expectations, but they have high potential. Well, this person is a growth employee. And so this person, good performance, high potential, this is someone that's a candidate to grow in their current vertical. So they are definitely doing great at what they do, but you can see they have a higher lit, right? So this is someone who is good at account management. You could see them growing into business development or sales management or sales operations or something like that, right? So you can see how you can move someone up. They're a really good engineer. Maybe they demonstrating their ability to help other engineers, and that kind of is showing up as, potential for becoming an engineering manager at some point, as an example. So give these people stretch goals to maximize their potential and keep them engaged. These are good employees that you want to keep around. Okay, so next row up is where we have your high performers. So people who have very high levels of performance, they're exceeding your expectations for what they should do in their job, right? Well, let's start with the first one, which is someone that is a solid performer, right? So high performance, but limited potential. I've had many employees like this in my career, and I love them. So this is a seasoned professional who knows their job really well, and they're very good at it, and they enjoy their work, and they don't really want to grow out of this. This is very common in sales. When you have someone who is just a rainmaker and they love to just go out and get the deal and meet with the customers and be out there, they don't want to come to the plant and be a leader of other salespeople because they're just not wired for that. They're really wired for doing the work, not managing the people who do the work. So they don't have a ton of ambition to grow. Plus, coming off of the sales roster means that they're going to lose their bonus or their commission. And that's probably not going to be exciting for them. So because it turns out managers of sales teams tend to make less money than the salespeople do if they're good salespeople. So if you have a star salesperson, let her or him just cook. Just let them be successful and they're gonna be very happy. Make sure you reward them with praise and bonuses and some sort of acknowledgments. This is the kind of person that loves to collect plaques and applause and things like that. So they're really good at what they do. They have honed their skills. Keep them happy by giving them constant praise and bonuses. The next level over is the high performer. This is someone with high high performance and moderate potential that they're showing up in this box here, right? So these people, their current role probably will give them opportunity for growth and development. They might be a little too tactically focused, and so sometimes you want to get them to think more strategically. So they're performing at a very high level, but their potential isn't quite what it could be. And with them, what you want to do is try to help them build executive mindsets in that they're thinking strategic, they have a high level of vision, they're problem solving, they're decisive, those kinds of things. They are your perfect candidates for executive career coaching when you see someone in that box. So think about that. That's somebody that you want to put into an executive career coaching program of some sort to help them raise that potential, raise that lid so that they can move from there to the star box, which we will talk about now. And clearly the star box is up here in the top corner. The star is someone with high performance and high potential. You should not have very many people who fall into this box. If you see your 9 box with a whole crowd of people up in the star box, okay, you're just a really nice person, and you need to be a little bit more strategic in how you think about the people that are on your team. So it's nice to want everyone to be the star, but that's just not how this works. Not everyone can be an all-pro quarterback. There can be other quarterbacks that are NFL starters, but not all 32 are going to qualify for the Pro Bowl. So it's important to understand that you will have stars, but they inherently stand out above and beyond the rest of the team, who is really your core team. So if you have a bunch of people in a star box and very few people in core, basically just move everything down one notch and you'll have kind of more realistic understanding of what's going on inside your organization. So another way to think about this is I would never have more than 1 or 2 stars per 20 people in an organization. So if you have a 100-person organization and you've got 10 stars, that's a lot. So I would say like really more like 3 or 4 in an organization like that, because these are the people that you're going to invest in the most. You're going to lean into them. The leadership team is going to lean into them because they are ready for a promotion, and you want to make sure that they stay engaged in your organization so that they don't take a promotion to your competitor. Instead, you want to find a path for them out of the role that they're in and into a role where they can excel. Because what will most likely happen is when you promote a star into a role that is above them, they will immediately become a core player. They will move down to good performance and moderate potential because they have outperformed their previous role and now they're ready to perform in their new role. And so whenever you have a star, this is somebody that you really want to prepare for promotion. Make sure that they have those executive skills, those managerial skills, those people person skills, all the soft skills that make managers and executives successful. So I hope this was helpful. This was a very quick video that basically just kind of talks through what a 9 box is. I would suggest going through this on your own. Do not share this with your team. Like, go through your team in your head and think about where people wind up on this matrix. Also, know that your leadership is probably doing this with you. If not a 9 box, they may have some other fancy tool that some HR company sold them, but a 9 box on a spreadsheet has been the standard for a long time. I've used it very successfully in lots of companies. I've had it used on me, and it's helped me understand when it was shared with me what I was lacking and what I could grow in and all those things. So this is a great tool to understand if you want to just be a solid manager. Also, if you're going to be an executive, you want to make sure that you're using this to scan for potential people to move up inside of your organization. So that's a 9 box. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.